Hey, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for continuing through. And I have just one question. I mean, if you've really been feeling anxious about your future online, you're probably right to feel that way. I mean, how many real wins have you had trying to follow the IM experts and what they tell you to do? Like, how many times have you had a real success that's lasted? I mean, whether it's Facebook ads, e-com, Shopify, funnel building, affiliate marketing, or any of that, are you living the life you always dreamed of for yourself yet? If you're very, very, very lucky, the answer is yes. But if you're like most, you're probably not quite there yet. And that's really a problem because you've probably invested a lot in both time and money in believing the hype. And you should really be in a better position if the promises that they've made you were actually achievable instead of just carefully constructed sales pitches designed to do one thing and one thing only, and that is to separate you from your money and to keep you coming back again and again. You know, how many times will you have to explain to your loved ones or your friends why your last $500, $1,000, $3,000 invested in courses or software didn't get you any further? You see, it's not that you're being duped by these guys. You are likely a lot smarter than that. It's just that us, in our human nature, it makes us want so badly that these promises become a reality, and they feed on this natural human desire and our advanced entrepreneur spirit that keeps us coming back and telling ourselves that maybe, just maybe, this is it. But it never is. And guess what? Really bad news, it probably never will be for most of us. You know, that's a harsh assessment, I know. But to build an IM business that you can depend on, that you can retire from, it takes a perfect storm of events, years of developing skills and acquiring knowledge between the marketing side and then the whole other technical side. JV partners, deals and launches, events, schmoozing with and generally having to suck up to these egotistical maniacs, and that's not even the worst. Or if you do real marketing, like with Shopify or whatever, you know, the list is nearly exactly the same. Not to mention all the significant investments in ads, services, platforms, apps, and more courses, and the list goes on until you're so overwhelmed, over budget, out of cash, and short on hope, faith, and motivation. And sadly, that is the very bleak picture of your average online entrepreneur. You know, but every once in a while, in a great while, you do get lucky. Like I did. I really did get lucky. I found a mentor. He taught me nearly everything there was to know about direct online marketing. But even that wasn't enough because I then had to spend the next 10 years honing skills in a dozen different areas to get to the level where I could basically launch any business and make money whenever I wanted to. And I have used these skills to generate millions in online sales for myself and my partners, but it was a lot of hard work, long nights, and after years of not seeing my family, of staying up, of abusing my health, I was still not even close to being retirement ready. You know, this kind of success is a false security trap, and I still didn't understand one thing that the 1% uses to obtain incredible wealth. And those who do know this almost always and automatically become wildly successful and build real businesses. One that then acquire and amass different assets and multiply themselves. And it gets to the point where, you know, these guys, they couldn't stop making money even if they tried. And it's not earned from running ads, selling products, writing copy, creating sales funnels, or any of that. You know, could you imagine Richard Branson spending his time putting up Facebook ads? You know, it's just a silly thought. Rather, he and many others use this trigger. And then when they pull it, and when you pull it, it turns you into a different entrepreneur altogether. You know, it fundamentally changes you and your outlook, and it pushes you from one side of the canyon to the other. And this canyon is a deep rift between two very different types of people. There's number one, you know, those who are still buying guru playbooks and push button software, and number two, those who are too busy making money and running their business to pay attention. You know, but there is a very deep divide between the two, and the only way to get to the other side that I've seen is this trigger, and it's one that I'm going to give you the opportunity to test out right now. So what is this thing? Well, it has to do with a little bit of luck and a good amount of faith. But it's not an easy decision. It'll test your guts, your will, and your desire to be one of those who are really transformed. It's a willingness to take a running start and to make the jump to the other side. But the only way to make it to the other side is to accept this very harsh reality. And the good news is, finally, it's easy to overcome if you know how. And then launch yourself into a real business that pays you consistently from now on, but doesn't require even 1/10 of what you're used to having to do. If you've been listening to the gurus lately, you're probably trying to launch an e-com store, driving traffic by Facebook ads, selling teas or mugs or any amount of junk from China. Maybe you spent thousands of dollars on these automated systems that build these stores and fulfill your orders and all that other junk. Am I right? If you're like most of us, you're probably failing spectacularly at it and wish there was another way, a really, truly easy way. Well, if I told you that there is another way, that there's an ultra easy way to literally create your own money as if you had an endless ATM, and what I mean by that is not some hyped up junk marketing buzz phrase, trust me. It's really just some vivid imagery for you to describe what's really behind this, and that is your new ability to use this trigger and to just completely change the way you think about making money from now on. And that is to actually make money. But without the soul-sucking tiny profits and massive time requirements of your average e-com business, for example. Remember, this is money working for you and not you working for money. This is exponential growth, where the money you make then makes you even more money, but doesn't require any extra work out of you. And in fact, there's very little work involved, because a lot of this happens automatically, where your wealth and your profits grow by themselves. And then when and if you decide to, you can engage yourself actively and then triple or quadruple those profits. But even that requires little more than clicking a few buttons in order to accept your profits, which are handed to you numerous times daily by prospects that come to you. So never will you have to go search them out, run ads, or do any type of traffic generation. You can forget having to search for the perfect product because you don't have to sell anything. There's no Facebook ads, Instagram, social marketing, or anything that you've seen in the last year. And this is all made possible by possessing that knowledge that I spoke to you about, by pulling that simple trigger that will make you wonder why you ever worked for money. Now, if you're like any red-blooded entrepreneur with a penchant for making as much money and building as much wealth as easily as possible, you're probably thinking that, if true, this sounds amazing. Maybe even a little too amazing, maybe a little skeptical even. And that's normal, that's okay. Because if you had told me this a year ago, I'd have written it off as some hyped up junk and total nonsense. But I'd also missed out on a huge opportunity, which is right now making the process of leveraging your existing money to generate new wealth daily in every man's game. And that is the rise of digital currencies. Unlike something super complicated and with a huge barrier of entry like Forex, digital currencies are easily accessible when you know how, and they're very, very quickly creeping into the consciousness of the mainstream, and the explosion has just begun. Recent developments in the form of free platforms that are easy to join and buy and sell these digital currencies at huge premiums that make you up to 30 or 40% per transaction have made this really simple for anybody of any background with any budget. And you can even start with as little as $50 and quickly grow it into hundreds or even thousands. And the principle is simple: buy at a profit, sell at a profit. And all you need to know is where to go, a few rules of engagement to follow, and all this can easily be learned in an afternoon. No long, complicated courses and algorithms and everything else. It's not rocket science by any means. There's no analyzing complicated charts and trends and huge risk. In fact, the risk level is nearly zero now. And once you get started, you can easily cover your initial investment. And then it's like you're playing with Monopoly money. Except this money you can pull straight out of an ATM whenever you need it, or transfer it to your bank account in 24 hours anywhere in the world. And so this world of simply multiplying your money on a daily basis is at your fingertips, but the time to take action is now. Remember, I said yes, this might take a little guts, faith, and will. Well, the guys like myself who began this a year ago or more didn't have these super easy platforms. It was extremely volatile. And then there was the ever constant fear of outside intervention. But now the access to this has really matured. And it's too embedded. It's too strong now to be interfered with. And those who stuck it out and willed it to work have seen their investments quadruple or more. Now is the very last chance to be part of that first wave. These are the ones who will make the most and secure their places as embedded suppliers who everyone else, when this explodes even further, as every expert is predicting, this can easily be your ticket out of the constant rat race, the promotion cycle, the webinar pitches, the emails, the opt-in forms, the slick fancy sales letters with, the pretty icons and all of that. What it really comes down to is asking yourself just one question. What is it that you really have to lose here? You see, because an honest and truthful assessment is that you can put in $50 and easily turn it into $100. 100 quite easily becomes 1,000, and all of this is achievable in less than a week if you follow a blueprint with an exact plan for doing just that. So that means with $50 and about a week of your time, you can confirm without a shadow of a doubt everything we've talked about here and discover a whole new and exciting world for you as an entrepreneur that is frankly thrilling. It's thrilling that every time you execute this, you watch your balance and your wealth climb higher. It's thrilling that when you log in every day, you see your earnings appreciate up to 4 to 5% per day. No other internet marketing system or blueprint can offer you that. It's thrilling that you have the knowledge that you are just one of the few who know how to really create cash out of just thin air without having to work for it. And that is just beginning to scratch the surface of the adrenaline pumping wealth building business that you can begin to build now with your first revenue coming in the next few days. So if just the thought of all that makes you feel like a kid again, then stick around and allow me to introduce to you what I call the digital monopoly. And this is filled with highly sensitive, mission-critical information that makes it dead simple to pull that magic trigger. And it gives you the ability to make a living, to construct your dream life, and to secure your financial freedom by gaining a skill used by the 1% to build just incredible fortunes. But on a scale and a level that doesn't require you to be an expert or risk your life savings or have a PhD in investments in finance. You see, it's true that the actions you'll be required to take to make this work for you are anything but difficult. Compared to running Facebook ads, this is laughably easy. Even running a simple like campaign on Facebook is 10 times harder than anything that will be required of you to execute and profit with this. So what's the hard in this? What is hard? Well, there's a couple of things. One is knowing exactly which pitfalls to avoid. And there are only a couple, but they are very, very important. Also, knowing what steps to take to secure your money and your profits. This is really important, especially in this digital age. So you just need to follow these simple rules and your digital currencies will be 100% locked down and untouchable. Now, another one is knowing exactly which services and platforms to use that yield the most customers and the highest returns. So you start. There's no second guessing, no losing time, just straight to profitable action. And like I said, most 99% of these platforms are free to join. Don't cost you a cent to use, nothing. Now, another one, and finally, really is knowing where to find sources that sell at near market rates. But you won't even need to really know that because we're going to be providing you this service. So the last one is knowing how to pull your profits out in a moment's notice. And you kind of saw this if you watched the ATM video. You can get them out via ATM or one-day bank transfer. It's easy, but you'll always have the latest methods that we use as well. You see, other than having this critical information that will allow you to get straight to real, tangible results, that allows you to start as if you were a seasoned vet instead of fumbling around and potentially making critical mistakes. The actual work, the physical action required to execute this business comes down to knowing how to move your mouse around the screen and click. And something else that I really love about this is you don't need to know how to move your mouse because your entire business can be run on any mobile device as well. Also, there's no research. We'll provide you with the most profitable currencies at rates normally preserved for a few insiders. And we'll tell you exactly where the best opportunities are with weekly updates. I'm going to give you every last bit of knowledge that I acquired over this period of adoption with clear, precise, and unmistakable instructions for launching yourself into a business that makes you money by multiplying your money. But before I ever leave you to fend for yourself, I'm going to prove all of this to you by basically launching your business for you. So wait, what? Well, you see, unlike most internet marketing systems, this is not about whether or not you're going to find all the perfect elements all together in order to be successful. If you take action, can follow simple instructions, and know how to do just basic math, it's nearly impossible not to see immediate results. And that's because this is a model based on simple math and transactions. It doesn't hinge on you being able to drive targeted buyer traffic or having the perfect product to sell them or the perfect funnel or perfect email marketing formula. It's none of that. This is a business that you can learn quickly, that you will enjoy doing. And like I said, it's really thrilling. And it's so unbelievably effortless that you probably won't even believe me when I tell you what your average day in getting started will be like. But here it is, okay? All you have to do is first create your profile on any one or more of these free platforms, and I'll tell you exactly which ones to target for the best results. Take 5 minutes next to then create your listing, and I'll show you how to create your best profile and listing down to the letter, and then do nothing. Pick up a hobby because those looking to purchase digital currencies will then come to you. And then you profit because they buy your supply at a premium and you earn your profit with each transaction. And literally, all that's required of you is each time that this happens, you just need to provide them with information on how to pay you. And then you get paid, and then you click one button to release the purchased amount of digital currencies to the buyer. And that's it. That's all there is to it. Transaction complete. Your profit is in the bank. You relax and you wait for the next person who comes along and wants to give you money. And they will come along again shortly. I told you that this was simple, but I bet you could never have imagined just how simple it is. But guess what? While this is far from hardcore manual labor, it gets even easier than that. Because I'm going to actually deliver on a promise that IM scammers have been claiming their systems do since the dawn of the internet. And while they are straight out liars, for the first time ever in your entrepreneurial career, you will gain access to a 100% automated platform that actually makes you money all day and night without you ever having to touch it. One that does deliver hands-off profits because instead of you manually having to click the buttons and accept transactions, a tireless robot who never takes a break or takes a salary does all the work on your behalf. Internet marketers and entrepreneurs have been looking for something that can actually achieve this incredible promise from the beginning of time itself, and so have I. And I'm not going to tell you that you're going to go and you're going to make $1,000 a day with this, but it will provide you with daily hands-off income every day. And that can easily hit $100 in a day on a fairly consistent basis. I know this is a big promise, I know, but it's a real promise that is the 100% absolute truth, and you'll see for yourself as soon as you gain access and log in. And what I've just revealed to you instantly makes every second you've spent watching this presentation worth it. I promise you, 1,000 times over. Because this is exactly the same money multiplying action that you would normally have to attend to manually, but it's 100% automated. It matches your offers to buyers who pay you, while a secure escrow system guarantees your earnings. It's 100% safe and automated. And while everything we've discussed here is enough to make any business-minded person just giddy with excitement, remember I said I'd be virtually launching your business for you? Well, that comes with 3 huge benefits to your participation. And listen carefully, because these are unlike anything you've seen before. I promise you. So, number 1 is you own instantly profitable business asset. Well, what we've done is we've recently launched an exciting new business model using these principles to offer an unbelievable service for consumers. As a founding member of the Digital Monopoly, you're going to receive your very own share of this business and its profits that will be just paid to you monthly. And this is a big deal because it means that before I ever tell you to go out and do anything, I'm going to be using the same methods that you'll then learn to hand you instant monthly revenue. So that's really awesome. But number 2 is I'm going to get your investment back to you. This is going to sound completely crazy, and you may even think just downright impossible. So first, no, the entry to this group is not free. That's a bummer. Or is it? Well, it kind of is if you take action now. Because while you'll be asked for a very reasonable investment to join us, I'm going to take that initial investment for you, put it to work for you, and then I'm going to hand it back to you within the next 90 days. There's no 2 ways about this. I mean just what I said. You see, I'm so confident in this and in the rather significant returns this model just gives you back, and it yields with such little effort, that proving this is the real deal to you by doubling your investment and giving it back to you, giving back your cost of entry, especially with 90 days to do it. It seems like the very least I can do for you considering everything. And I really don't mean to gloss over this subject, but we must keep moving. And here is 3 of 3. I'm going to give you funds to launch your business. And this is really quite overkill at this point, but I want to make sure you have every last thing you need to make this happen. So as a final way to do that, I'll create a digital currency wallet for you, and I'll be dropping in some starting funds that will allow you to make your first run at this without ever having to use a dime of your own money. The more you know me, the more you'll understand that I'm not a big screenshot guy. In fact, I refuse to use them because I could have filled this entire presentation with them and you'd have no idea whether they were doctored or not. I really just prefer to let my money in actions where my mouth is and show you the results. So if you're still here, you're probably at least mildly interested in your future as a 1%er and likely dying to know just how much is it that I'm going to be giving back to you. Well, I could and I should put a guru level 3K price tag on this, not only considering the massive benefits that you're going to get in the opportunity itself, for this revolutionary and this radical shift in your future outlook. But honestly, I'll tell you straight up that I think that 3K is a ridiculous price to ask anyone for training, software, or even an opportunity like this that could yield the kind of results and returns in the next few weeks. So I won't be asking you anywhere near that, anywhere near that. And I've put this within reach of any entrepreneur who wants to take the leap and make this happen for themselves. Now, also, I've done everything I can to give you every advantage, every benefit when launching yourself into this new business. First because of how you'll be gaining some of your first returns on it. And then between gaining instant ownership of a real business asset and us working your initial investment for you. All this is a great opportunity, but it does also come with a big warning. The total number of founding members allowed in will be severely limited due to the sheer number and level of benefits. The second time this limit is hit, the doors will close and it will be locked down with no exceptions. No more than 25 ultra smart entrepreneurs will attain these benefits and gain access to the ongoing training, the insider's knowledge with free upgrades for life, including a planned upgrade that we're working on right now. And it's coming, that has the potential to automate every single platform and your entire business. And that's being worked on right now, right this moment. So it's decision time. Consider options just below and then click to secure your place at the table, where near instant and effortless execution transform your business into what it has always meant to be. So, thanks again for watching. This is Brian, and I'll see you on the other side of this page with instructions on your next move. With literally everything tipped clearly in your favor, you'd be crazy not to be one of us. Thanks for watching.